This coming week on Friday Night Smackdown, it has already been announced that The Miz will once again play host to Miz TV with his special guest, Bray Wyatt. And I like this a lot because it's added a lot of speculation as to will Fun House Bray be live in the ring? Will the puppets be in the ring? Will the Fun House be in the ring? Or will The Miz be talking live to the Firefly Fun House to Bray Wyatt? What has Bray Wyatt got to say? And of course, it's 24 hours after Crown Jewel. It's going to be interesting. But what if there's something more sinister about to go down on Friday Night Smackdown? Well, of course, that is what we are going to be talking about on this video, and a few other things as well. So make sure you stay tuned. But I need to ask you guys if you'd be so kind to hit that subscribe button. Last night, we hit 13,000 subscribers, which is just absolutely insane. I really do appreciate it, so thank you so much for that. Of course, like the video if you do enjoy it. It does help it rank up on YouTube, allows others to find it when they're searching for Funhouse stuff and things like that, so I really do appreciate those likes. Share it across social media, that way your friends can find it as well. And of course, comment your thoughts down in the comment section below. I love reading your theories, they're incredible. Now, Friday Night Smackdown will not be the first time we see Bray Wyatt outside of the confines of the Firefly Funhouse. Of course, we've seen him recently on TV shows, on morning shows. We've heard him on radio talk shows, hyping up things like Hell in a Cell. And it makes perfect sense for WWE to use him in that way. And I love the fact that on all of them, Bray has remained in character. It adds an air of mystery to the whole Funhouse. So what is it that makes this segment of Miz TV so unmissable? And why are people like me hyping it up so much and thinking something possibly could happen between The Miz and Bray Wyatt? Well, very easily. Do you remember back when Puppet Watch was a thing? There was a few weeks between the Funhouse original segments and the Fiend debut. Well, The Miz actually was stalked by two puppets. I actually think he was the only superstar to be stalked twice. Abby the Witch on the left and Mercy the Buzzard on the right. Left was on a SmackDown, the right was on a Raw, and it happened twice. But that's not the only interaction between the two since the Funhouse began. Do you remember this from a few weeks ago? This was a SmackDown dark match, and it was The Fiend attacking Cesaro, which you might be thinking, well, what's that got anything to do with The Miz? Well, Cesaro's opponent was The Miz, and this is the second time that The Fiend has then come out and attacked Cesaro. And I know what you're thinking, well, he didn't attack The Miz, so what's that got anything to do with it? Miz was out of the ring. Miz had nothing to do with this at all. Well, on Friday Night Smackdown a couple of weeks ago, Bray actually appeared on the Titantron after the Funhouse got burnt down, and this was a dark segment. Only the audience saw it, but huge shout out to Jody who sent this info through, and I made a video on it at the time. And he said that he was watching, he knew The Miz had a match that night, and he was going to be watching it very, very closely, and so is The Fiend. So he was watching it because of The Miz. Now, okay, that's all dark segments, and we've seen The Fiend and we've seen Bray Wyatt in dark segments before. But ultimately, all of his dark segments seem to build to something. They seem to be rehearsals, or they seem to be spoilers for something down the line. For example, this steel cage match that happened on Raw between Seth Rollins and The Fiend. Seth escaped the cage and all that stuff. But we know that there's a cage match booked for November 4th's Raw, and this was basically a dark match rehearsal. And I absolutely love it because we've also seen The Fiend protect Seth Rollins in the past. Remember when he attacked Braun Strowman? He put his body between Seth and Braun and then attacked Braun with a mandible claw. And is that what he was doing to Cesaro? Was he protecting The Miz because The Miz is a future opponent of The Fiend, Bray Wyatt? I don't know, but it's definitely very interesting. And it, without a doubt, makes the Miz TV segment on Friday unmissable. Because Crown Jewel is Thursday, and I'm assuming that whether Bray or The Fiend wins or not, that's hopefully going to be the end of that story. And The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, is going to be looking for something new. And is it going to be The Miz? Are the dark segments kind of a look into the future as to potentially what could happen between Bray Wyatt and The Miz. I really like that. Now, something I don't normally do is shoutouts, but it is the week of Halloween, so I had to do some because these costumes are incredible. First of all, Jason over on Twitter. Honestly, I've spent hours talking to Jason about the Fun House and his costume, and I've watched it grow and develop. Honestly, he's got the puppets and everything. Huge shout out to Jason. He looks absolutely incredible dressed up as the Fiend. Of course, that's not all. Joe over on Twitter tonight has a Halloween party, so we might watch this video a bit late. But how cool does he look? The menacing feel with the hood up from the Fiend. Nice mask as well. I don't know what mask that is, but it doesn't look like the one they sell on WWE Shop. It looks really, really nice. And of course, on Friday, I went to MCM Comic Con London and I bumped into this guy. And unfortunately, he doesn't have a Twitter handle or anything. But I had to give this a massive shout out because the costume was incredible. In person, it looked amazing. I absolutely love the Fiend. I wore my Fiend t-shirt to Comic-Con. Had so many great conversations with people. And honestly, to bump into someone cosplaying as the Fiend in London, perfect. And also, I do want to give a massive shout out to everyone who I spoke to at MCM. There was a few people that I spoke to about the Fun House and stuff, and when I was talking and theorizing with them, they recognized me straight away as C Wrestling, which is incredible that you guys recognize my voice if you are watching this video. Huge shout out to you. Hope you enjoyed MCM Comic Con. Now, this Thursday on Crown Jewel, the main event, Seth Rollins defends the Universal title against Bray Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere, can't be stopped for any reason match. And it is kind of a foregone conclusion that the Fiend's probably somehow going to lose this. It's going to be screwed. There's going to be some crappy ending to it. That's kind of what a lot of wrestling fans feel. We're prepared for that. But for the first time, something strange happened on the Firefly Fun House. The pictures changed. Of course, after the fire, all the pictures went back on the wall. The Fun House was pretty much intact. But Seth Rollins' picture had changed. And I like this a lot because the old version didn't have the title belt. The new version did. And I like that because is this a sign that now Bray / The Fiend wants that Universal Championship belt? I like that because it potentially could mean the Fiend could win. Now, last night, I uploaded a brand new Liv Morgan theory video, and it's something I don't like to do too often, but there was a lot of new information out, including her 2K20 entrance theme music, including a few cryptic tweets that she had left since the last video we done. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do that after this video. I will leave a card at the top of the screen or something. But a few people contacted me saying, how can Liv Morgan really portray Abby the Witch? It's not like Abby the Witch is a WWE superstar or a character that we've really seen before. And I do understand what you guys are saying. I do get it. That it is a kind of out there, far-fetched theory that you don't know if it's true or not until something like that happens. But the only reason I wonder about the soul of Sister Abigail going from the Abby the Witch doll to Liv Morgan is because we've seen it before. We've seen Bray Wyatt as Sister Abigail. The soul of Sister Abigail allowed Bray Wyatt to go to this deep, dark place. And although this storyline should be completely forgotten from wrestling history, it happened. And Bray is very good at tying stuff into everything. So maybe, forget the rest of the puppets, maybe just the Abby the Witch soul of Sister Abigail can be put into other people. Maybe like Bray has that hidden power as the Fiend that he can transport a soul of, say, Abby the Witch into someone like Liv Morgan, heal them, make them better, and of course take them to that dark place by letting her in. And I think that's really cool that Bray has let the Fiend in and Liv could let Sister Abigail in. I really do think that's a really good potential storyline that WWE, if they did it right, could get a lot of money for. Now, of course, the other big theory I got contacted about that I didn't mention on that video was Crown Jewel. And do I think Liv Morgan will debut at Crown Jewel? The honest answer is no. Unless they do something on screen for people at home, I think it's very unlikely. mainly because Crown Jewel is a huge showcase event that WWE don't really do surprises for. They kind of announce everything because they want to hype it as much as possible. It's almost a bit like WrestleMania, I suppose. Also, Saudi Arabia is the location of Crown Jewel. Saudi Arabians don't allow women to wrestle. And although there was a lot of rumours last Saudi event that there could potentially be a women's match, maybe WWE has got permission for this to happen. It's potentially possible. I don't want to say it's impossible, but I think it's very highly unlikely we see Liv Morgan at Crown Jewel. I think maybe potentially the week after, if it happens. I don't know. I really hope it's soon, though, because I really want some answers on the Liv Morgan situation. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on everything down in the comments section below. If you've got dressed up as a Fiend or any other Funhouse character, send me over pictures on Twitter at CWrestlingUK. It is the week of Halloween, so if I make another one of these videos between now and then, maybe you'll be included. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll let you know when the next one's coming out on Twitter. Peace!